I learnt that I'm still really shit at Call of Duty.
You're listening to the Big Drill.
We are here on the
Big Drill, and of course, as
say
always,
the Big Drill.
Well, you're the one who started. It's not my fault. I had to say something.
I know. You can work on that.
We have, as always, Mr.
Will
and Ghazi, of course, and of course, together we combined to make the Big Drill. And selfishly, I had a whole episode to myself.
Rightfully so.
So today, it is only fair we hand it over to the Willinator.
This was not my idea to be solely focused on me, and it will be much shorter, mainly because I didn't nearly die, apart from the time during lockdown where I almost crashed my bike. Other than that, going too fast, blind corner, crashing my bike
into
the river.
You fell into the river?
I didn't fall into the river. It's close, on the towpath.
Okay.
It's a little bit exciting.
You didn't get wet?
No. But my heart did skip a beat. But I didn't feel impending doom like you did.
You didn't feel impending doom?
No.
Only if you fell into the water, maybe. Do you know how to swim?
I know how to swim. I'm a very strong swimmer.
Ooh.
Yeah. Probably not in the River Thames.
Okay, so at least we know that. You nearly fell into the River Thames. And I know someone who's going to love that story.
Brilliant.
But I'm not going to reveal the name.
Of course
we're going to continue. So while I was busy, while the Big Drill was down, please tell us, Will, what you were going through and what you were up to.
Well, I got my learn on.
Ooh, I like that phrase.
I got busy learning.
I got my learn on. I'm going to use that.
And I upskilled myself.
You leveled up.
I leveled up, yeah.
We're going to use gaming terms.
Potentially. I've got a story about gaming later on. But I also tried to level up there.
You gained XP. That's what
I gained some XP. I know what XP is,
there
I got some points to go,
You put it in the
buy
bank,
in the shop.
Okay.
Can you do that?
No, you have to grind for the XP. You got to work hard, and I'm sure that's what you did, Will.
Yeah, I did. I actually become a qualified therapist, counsellor. The terms interchangeable. For the best part of lockdown, I was busy learning, reading, writing assignments, having meetings with my tutor and such forth, developing my skill set in a therapeutic way.
Pun intended?
No.
Oh.
No pun intended.
So I know a lot of people during the lockdown phase, they were like, you know what? Well, we've got time to kill. Want to learn a new skill or do a new course? And
time to kill, learn a new skill.
There you go. I'm rapping now. But I never heard someone say, I'm going to take a counseling course. So please explain to me and everyone else why you chose that route or that particular subject to get to gain experience.
I've been in therapy since 2017. The back end of that.
Okay.
Varying frequencies, different times. Found it incredibly useful. It's helped me gain a really well-founded perspective change on life, basically. Okay. So I've valued that experience hugely, and also when I was going into lockdown, I felt I had days where I'm sure anyone had days where they were feeling a little bit overwhelmed or claustrophobic or loss of autonomy because there were rules being put in place and so forth. But I think I dealt with them. Well, I did deal with them particularly well, and I also was supporting other people, some of my clients, but also other people that from friends, family, and so on and so forth, in a sense of being able to have that skill set. So I think it was a natural progression for me to kind of go, well, I do this on on a regular basis from like a life coaching point of view. Yeah, I train people in the gym, support people with nutritional change and those kind of things. But also, the whole kind of like life coaching goes into that with a little bit more like the therapeutic conversations. And so I think when you get to a certain point, you see yourself using something regularly, formalizing it is always a good idea, because I've been doing it probably for the last 4 or 5 years in some way, shape or form.
But to put it down officially.
Yeah, to get a qualification is always a good idea, So, and needless to say, I was going through multiple the assignments going, yeah, kind of like having those already fully understood because of my own reading I've done previously. So it was really enjoyable in the sense whereby I had it gave me a focus, and and I think that's probably why a lot of people decided to do. I also started learning to play the piano.
Favorite song?
Yellow Brick Road, Elton John.
Okay, that's not a bad choice. I thought you were going to hit me with like a Disney song.
Well, I do know a few Disney numbers actually. Maybe on another occasion we could do a little duet.
Maybe that's our the big drill introduction. Is you playing the piano?
Possibly. Jeez. Yeah, there's a multitude of different songs I like.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think a lot of people had that kind of like the creativity or the focus of whether it be learning something or mastering something in order to be able to get through that time. And I think that I definitely was able to have structure based around when I had to have assignments in meetings with the tutor over Zoom, any like kind of breakout sessions and kind of directed reading we had to do around certain topics, which was great. It was really good. It almost felt like I was back at uni, but that
I was going to say
it was the case.
A student again, yeah,
absolutely. We're all students of life.
Student of the game. Students of the game.
I think that, and yeah, I had a lot of. I've gone on and like bought some other courses as well on like around positive psychology, which I would love to bring to the big drill actually, in the sense of some of the topic areas around resilience, emotional intelligence, like strengths, finding your strengths, utilizing your strengths. So yeah, that's been a good course as well. Again, that comes with like your certifications and stuff, which is always good. It's always good to have those things. A lot of things I'm using already in what I do.
So during this learning phase of the course, what would you say was your most enjoyable part? Or was there a particular section where you thought, I really enjoy doing this? If anything stands out at all.
Yeah, so like stress, anxiety,
and I'm sure all of us can relate to that.
And a lot of like stress, anxieties, and then also creating positive relationships around boundaries. So having and holding boundaries, and I was doing a lot of work with my therapist on this anyway, but it just kind of like really resonated and allowed me to be able to see where in that moment how it related, and then obviously how I could see that working with people that I work with. I have a selection of clients that I work purely from a like counselling perspective, from a therapeutic perspective, which is perfect. That's what I wanted to do, to like kind of layer into another area. And it was very useful for me to be able to, and it wasn't like an enlightenment moment, because I kind of already knew it, but there was parts of it which was consolidated what I was already doing, reinforced it, and then gave me more confidence to go out there and pass that on to clients. And
did it kind of put you outside of the box rather than, so you were seeing it from the outside looking in, learning it from that perspective? Or was it like, I get it, I kind of get it now, but you're still within? Because sometimes when you learn something, even though you've been through it, you kind of see it from a different perspective once you.
Yeah. So what I think you're talking about there is like almost like a leveling up of awareness and appreciation, which is almost like, I guess, like there's a technique like when you're thinking about, if you're in communication with someone doing something, it's kind of like it's an act, like put yourself in an astral position. So like bring yourself out of your body so you can observe from like a higher perspective almost about what's going on. And that could be anything. It could be
Customo, which is Mike Tyson's boxing trainer. He believed you could reach that state in the middle of a fight.
But sometimes you can.
So and they're able to see the fight from the outside.
There are arguments about like what's called heightened state of flow, whereby you don't actually know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're just in this like autonomous.
I call that in the zone.
I think we've mentioned this in previous.
You're in the zone. It just works. You don't need to think.
So you may have the opportunity to almost like kind of come out and like imagine what it's looking like from up there. So I think that's probably what it allowed me to like kind of, and again like what I always try and do is when you're thinking about things, sometimes you get caught up in the details and like the micro, which are important at certain times. But it's also very important to have to zoom out and look at the macro and like kind of have an idea about like the overall picture and what's happening and where it fits and what it has potential to do, such as learning a new skill or consolidating skills. Any of the modules on the counselling course, or the positive psychology course I've been doing as well. But I've I did do some other learning as well. Actually,
please tell us.
I learned that I'm still really shit at Call of Duty.
Okay, so I do remember you did message me one time.
One time.
And you was like, what are you doing with your PS4? And I was unable
to provide a PS4. Well,
but in the end, you got a hold of it.
I did. One of my good friends was actually, I can say his name, Ollie.
Sure.
Was he basically was shot off to Thailand and couldn't fit his PS4 in his hand luggage or whatever he could carry.
Very convenient for you.
So I was like, fear not, Ollie. I will make sure
I can take this burden.
Kept warm.
I can take this burden away from you.
So I went down to Bristol on a mission. Got a PS4. I returned back with the PS4 intact, which is always
that's a good start.
First,
very good
hurdle. Managed to set it up.
Okay, you're killing it so far.
A long time ago since I put the right wires in the right holes, but on a PS4. And then once I managed to get that done, fired the thing up.
Mm-hmm. You managed to find the on button.
I managed to find the on button. This is the brutality of it. Right?
It is quite difficult. I can't lie. Someone that's never done it.
On button, fine.
Oh, okay.
Got the on button. I mean, after waiting what seemed like 6 days for it to do these amalgamation of updates on various like platforms, on various games, I was like, is this what happens these days? You literally have to.
Nowadays, they're starting to do pre-updates, so you can update it before the update actually comes out.
Oh, cool, brilliant!
Then it's already ready.
So anyway, and then I eventually managed to.
6 days later.
6 days roughly. I actually gave up at one point. This is, and I thought, no, come on, persevere, be resilient. So I then actually sat down and I called in the troops, the gang, if you will, of people I knew that played Call of Duty. Obviously, you pied me off, weren't interested.
That's not true.
I was. Okay. And then I managed to. I got a couple of mates online that were playing. One of my best mates, and another James, and another guy Mark, and who was a good friend as well. And a guy in the US as well, Rich. So we're on there, and like everyone's like, "Well, we can't hear you," and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's like Zoom all over again," It's the fucking microphone. I'm like, "What do you mean you can't hear me? Where's your headset?" And I'm like, "Well, it's here. I can't get it to work." And they're like, "Well," I said, "It looks like it's wireless." And they're like, "No, there isn't. It's not wireless." And I was like, I think it is. I can't find it on the settings though. I've tried plugging it into the console. So I've got my headphones and I'm trying to find the hole on the console where you would plug in a lead, right? Mm-hmm. There isn't one, is there?
I'm trying to remember how it works for the PS4.
Well, there isn't. It goes into the bloody controller.
It can go into the controller, but it depends what If you've got a USB headset, it can go straight into the console.
Cool. Well, I didn't have a USB. I
So it
might
goes
have.
into the
I was
control.
very confused. I was very stressed. I was
So
starting.
you had a
I was
wide.
getting shot at by these 14-year-olds. You know, I couldn't get my act together. There's a death. You know, I'm in some gulag thing. I mean, what's that about?
The gulag is one of
like
it's become a meme now.
Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Yeah,
I've seen the memes.
But it's great.
So that's something I learned about the gulag.
You see,
If you're not quick,
all right,
you're dead.
don't take me to the gulag, Will. Sorry if you guys can't see this. It's because Will just made the microphone attack me. Go on.
Yeah. If you're not quick in the gulag, you're dead.
You're dead instantly.
Yeah,
yeah.
instantly. It's like sometimes I
Did you ever win one gulag?
I won
You won one.
I won some gulags. No, I definitely won some gulags.
Okay,
eventually.
good. That's all right.
My God, it's intense. I learned one thing about Call of Duty. What I'm good at: sniper rifle, small assault rifle as my secondary weapon, claymores.
Oh, you're one of those guys, the camper.
I'm a camper.
Okay. And you find a high building.
I find a high building, correct?
And
you know
just wait.
You know, I wait.
The only thing that makes you move is
the circle getting smaller. That's right. Honestly, much more successful doing that than anything else.
Did you win? One.
I mean, not because of me.
So you just stuck around on the high building and hoped.
I done some good shit.
Okay, good.
I drove. I
hope you clipped them. Like you took a clip of your good moments.
I'm afraid I didn't. No. I mean, I wouldn't have had a clue how to do that.
Well, it's okay.
But I learned that Call of Duty needs an investment of time.
Correct. If you want to be good,
which I don't have motivation. So
play here and there.
I might play it. Maybe I should join you on your group.
You should join me on League of Legends.
I know we've done that. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with the mystical things.
But we could do some Warzone. They've released a new map.
Yeah, I know. It's not Verdansk anymore, is it?
No.
We were going to go there for my mate's stag do, actually.
The actual place, or was you going to like meet up on the online?
We were going to Halo drop in. Yeah. So no, it was.
But you give it a go, and that's what
I gave it a go. Yeah, you have to give these things a go. Don't you? It's not really about. You gotta try and engage, and there were some nostalgic moments there.
Kept an open mind. And you had fun. I know you had fun.
I did.
There's no way you didn't.
And then I was also learning some more serious stuff around trading and investments and stuff like that.
Oh,
crypto. Learned a bit about crypto.
Okay, please tell me.
Not a lot though. Not a lot. All I know is that it's probably a good idea to be in it rather than not in it at all.
Okay.
So
are you in it?
I'm in it a bit, yeah.
Just a bit.
I mean, yeah.
You put your foot through the door.
I've probably got a leg and a part of an arm in. So would you maybe
so you're telling
ear.
you're saying everyone like poking
like this, I'm like, hello.
So you're saying everyone should get into it?
No, this is not financial advice.
No, but you just said it's better to be in it than out.
My opinion is it's better to be in it, but then it's like one of those things where if the world goes that way and decentralized finance and what have you, then it's going to be beneficial to have at least some of that in like a portfolio of investment.
Have you heard about metaverse?
I have heard about metaverse.
Do you think we should be in it rather than out of it?
I mean, I think that's a whole.
I'm just asking.
I think that's a whole podcast. We should drill deep on the metaverse.
Okay.
We can. Let's touch on it now. Let's tickle it now.
Let's give it. What do you know so far?
What do I know? I'll tell you what I know. Zuckerberg loves a bit of the metaverse, doesn't he?
I saw a piece of virtual land.
Expensive, 1.8
whatever $1 million, and I'm just shocked.
Well, here's a bit of information for you.
Here, hit me.
I've been learning a bit about this as well. The virtual land, if you buy, someone bought a piece of land for like $4,500, something like that, relatively steep price. And then I think it was either, I think it was, oh no, I think these are two situations actually. In one situation, then Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you're familiar with Snoop Dogg.
He was quite the artist back in the days.
He's a rapper,
and now he's just doing everything and anything.
And
I hear
Just
him,
Eat,
I
Just
hear him,
Eat
yeah,
adverts.
and Just Eat adverts. I hear him doing those like David Attenborough voiceovers for animals.
Does he?
It's like, I don't know if he's serious about it, but there's clips of him like.
I don't think Snoop Dogg's the next David Attenborough. Just a loose opinion I've got. But yeah, he moved in next door to this place, and the like value of the other guy that bought it for like $4,500.
Oh, you're talking about real land right now.
No, I'm talking about virtual land. He got a plot next to.
So Snoop Dogg bought
a plot next to this guy.
A virtual land.
Yeah.
And then that other guy's land just went up
in value because Snoop Dogg's his neighbour.
Interesting.
And a similar thing when Facebook have bought up a load of land in somewhere else, and they like kind of bumped up the price of everything around them as well. Which is, I'm still trying to figure that bit out.
But when you say he moved in, this is what I'm trying to grasp.
When
he logs onto his computer?
He's there.
He's
right next. You can see him. Well, hello, Snoop. Mowing your lawn. He's like, yeah. It's not really mowing his lawn. He's chopping his weed plants down.
Okay, we'll have to touch this.
No, I'm not entirely sure that's how it works. That's a lie. Okay, just for the record, I'm guessing. But what I do know is that if you go into the so the metaverse, kind of what it could be used for as a logistical product, or at least a platform. Say, for example, you could have a virtual auditorium, like something like the Olympia or Earls Court or the NEC, whatever. You could have that kind of situation, and people could virtually attend it and have all the benefits gained, go into different parts of it, have a look at different products or experience different aspects of whatever that particular business or entity is trying to deliver, and they can do that virtually. So you say, for example, there's many things you could have, but you could like Twitter or whatever, Facebook. They run these campaigns where you send your email, then it's a 40-minute window. You get put into this campaign, you get to see it firsthand, experience, like ask questions, whatever the situation might be in this particular campaign. Well, that campaign is kind of half virtual because you're not actually attending, but you could actually make it a virtual experience where someone could attend virtually to a particular campaign. So your live campaign has that virtual element to it. So that's just how I could see it going. Or if like you were to have a building that was being designed, or a house or something like that, it could be designed in the metaverse, and then you could go in and you could be like, yeah, this is cool, I want to change that, I want to change this. So instead of it just being on paper and then it's built, you could virtually build it first. So you could have like it's
quite scary.
Like you could have a part in that journey which allows you to kind of add value. If you were looking to see how things would look when they were finished without them actually being physically finished.
I do think it's quite scary where everything is headed, but it is what it is.
Well, it's never it is what it is. It's scary, isn't it?
Can't stop it.
It is what it is. It's just like I don't want to talk about it kind of sentence.
No, I don't mind talking about it, but we're going to talk about it properly.
Properly, when you found it, you can find out a bit more about it.
I'm going to find out how it affects gaming.
Yeah, I could find out how it's going to affect personal training and dating, for example. That would be quite interesting, couldn't it?
Virtual dating
in the metaverse.
You're going to have to make your own avatar.
Well, you don't. You just get scanned. Anyway, we'll go into that. That's a whole different thing. So I've done a bit of trading, a bit of cryptocurrency. That was pretty interesting. Made some money, lost some money.
Are you going to pursue it?
Not on a full-time basis. It's very time-consuming.
I can imagine.
Relatively stressful. You need to leave a hell of a lot of emotional decision-making at the door, as in like, don't let any in the room.
Not allowed. I mean, that's with like professional gambling as well, like professional poker.
Yeah, well, yeah. My mate's a professional poker player, and
You got to leave the
there's a
emotion.
lot. It's funny because I was at a wedding recently. Best man at a wedding, actually.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I didn't get married,
But still, you were the best man.
that's nice.
It's a good title.
Or one of the best men. And so I was talking a lot more with him and catching up with him. And on the drive back, he was talking about how there's a lot of like computer-based algorithms and software now that runs your chances, what you should do with the cards you're handed, your position on the table, and so that. And it's all very like, if you were to follow that, if everyone was to follow that, you almost like kind of create a no one's really going to win anything type thing. So the humanistic part of it, the behavior, the emotion, is the bit where then people make errors, which is exactly the same when you're trading. You get too greedy, or you get too fearful, or you make mistakes. I've made a couple, and that's exactly the same thing in like professional poker player, like you said. As a professional poker player, that emotional side of it is the bit. If you just stuck to the statistics and the like processes that you should do,
You should be fine.
you should be, because there's going to be other people which don't.
Of course, that's what makes us so great, Will. We're not robots.
We're not robots,
and we are susceptible to mistakes, but also great decisions.
Great decisions, yes. So yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of stuff. I've been building. So for my business, I've been building a course which is like designed for my clients and also for other people outside of my client base, which they will have an ability to be able to acquire knowledge that's scientific, backed up.
I like a bit of scientific,
but can be easily applied in order for those people that want to achieve their results. Digestible, applicable, yeah, both important. So I've been doing that. Been busy learning, building,
gaining XP.
That's
what you got to say.
Not on Call of Duty.
Not on Call of Duty.
Yeah, so that's that really.
And if they wanted to get involved, Will, you got to tell them
with XP.
With not with gaining XP, joining this.
I'll let more come out of that as we go along the season.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
okay, fine.
I've got some bits and bobs, and we'll discuss more about the nuts and bolts of it as we go along.
The nuts. They're going to drill them in, these nuts and bolts.
Indeed. Cool.
Awesome, Will. Thank you for that. Have you got anything else you wanted to add? Or are you A-OK?
I am A-OK.
And now we're up to date with the big drill.
We're up to date.
You guys now know there was a void, and I know you guys were thinking hard
what's
about
been
what
happening.
happened.
Ghazi almost died, and I was reading a book.
It's a lot to
actually was watching Jordan Peterson quite a lot. Interesting fella.
What do you think of him?
I think he holds an awful lot of knowledge, and he has a great way of understanding topics and bringing them up for discussion in such a way that it ignites some polarization. But I think that that's quite important within discussion, because people have different opinions, But I think he has a really good understanding of what happens to human behavioural situations, whereby the evidence is quite hard to refute. He doesn't always deliver it in a particularly empathetic or.
But should he?
Well, no, I'm simply making an observation.
Okay.
I think that sometimes he's very blunt and very straightforward, very to the point, which some people may find difficult to receive, and therefore creates a primacy effect, so that person feels like defensive or
they feel like it's attacking them.
Yeah, it can do, I think, and I think that his knowledge and his positional standing within like the academia, I think is particularly good, very good. Yeah.
He blew up. I say blew up, but he got like.
Not actually. He's not a terrorist, mate.
Okay. I didn't mean in a, what's the word? In a figurative.
He went viral. And his notoriety increased
it was because he was refusing to call someone by the pronouns they were asking for.
Yeah, there was I think there was like that was one thing whereby he was at a rally, and there was quite a group of transgender or trans community members, in the various kind of aspects in which they are, and he had a confrontation with them. I don't want to be quoted on this, but I'm sure you guys out there probably know a little bit more about exactly the intricacies of this, but I think there was some like Nazi sympathizers at one of his rallies, and like he can't obviously control who comes, but then there was this kind of like furore that was created about like how the sympathizers were then like kind of obviously being really negative and aggressive or animostic towards the trans community that were there, but also I think just generally other people that were there, because
they're just dicks.
Yeah, and ultimately they were like, "Oh, why are you encouraging these people to like come to him?" Like, well, I'm not. I'm like, it's just that they're here because they're here. So yeah, but the messages that you're delivering are like kind of encouraging them. It's like, well, I'm not. And that was there then was the argument that continued on into this like YouTube video. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've watched it.
I remember a few years back, and there was a big fuss about it. And he's just taken it on head on, and he's just
I mean, there was a lot of other stuff before that, which was quality, and he had some books as well that.
He's even been on
12 Steps Away. Yeah, I know. Did they see? I didn't see that episode. I might.
It's quite.
I might watch that episode. I'm not sure whether they.
They had a.
Did they get on?
Yeah, they were fine. I think they like each other quite well, actually. But if you made it onto Joe Rogan's podcast, that's one of the milestones of you're doing pretty well.
And he had a really, so Russell Brand is obviously the opposite. He had a really good, so
I haven't seen that one.
And no, that was really good, because actually they were very, you'd think that they'd try and overpower each other, but they were relatively reasonable, and they actually, I think they got the best out of each other in some aspects, because they kind of challenged, but not in a. They challenged and then allowed the person to respond to the challenge rather than.
Now that's nice.
That is healthy.
I like that.
Healthy communication.
I wish we could do more of that.
As you challenging me. And
no,
not
you. Me and you.
I know. I can challenge you if you want.
I meant more so as.
I challenge you, but not to Call of Duty.
If you
or
challenge
League of Legends. Or any other game.
No, I think as a society, as a community, we need more people challenging each other, but in the right way.
Yeah,
like you described.
That's how you learn. That's how you evolve. Because someone challenges you, and if you've got
and that's how you understand the other side.
Yeah, if you've got a mindset that allows that to see from another person's perspective, you don't have to agree with it, but if you see it from that perspective, you can
the emotion. It's like trading.
You don't have to take out the emotion.
No,
you just have to allow it.
Too much of it, because if you get too emotional when someone says something you don't like, you're going to respond negatively, aren't you?
You need to take time to allow the emotion to
let it sink in,
and then process.
Let it sink in
the prefrontal cortex rather than in the limbic, because that's where you.
You're just hitting me with the fancy stuff now.
Cool. All right. There's a few ideas we could possibly delve into there.
Boom. So future episodes. There was a taster of what is to come. If you guys want anything in particular that you want us to drill into,
give us a holler.
Hit us with the comments.
What do you normally say at the end of the big drill? Subscribe,
like, comment, hit the bell,
give us a wave.
Hi. And if you are interested in knowing more about us, you can follow us on our socials, which is on Instagram. For Will, it is
Will Hawkins Coaching.
And I'm Ghazi.92. I also stream.
Oh, he's a streamer.
I game
down the river.
Stream. So if you want to watch me,
I'm streaming.
Getting very...
I'm rowing.
You're close enough. If you want to see me get angry because I'm losing at games,
He does that a lot.
I do it a lot because I lose a lot. You can find me on twitch.tv, Janubi, Jan 3 O's. B-I.
Why do 3 O's? It's just like it makes things complex. 3 O's.
3 O's. But that's it from me.
Excellent. Until next time,
we will find you guys on
the Big Drill.
Hi, I'm Will.
And I'm Ghazi.
And thanks for tuning in to The Big Drill. You can also find us on these platforms here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find him on Insta.
Ghazi.92.
And me, Will Hawkins Coaching. The links are in the description. And until the next time we drill deep, goodbye.
Bye.